Hi, I'm Blair. After 35 years of running Sacred Heart Hospital's administration department, I was finally hanging up my badge. The retirement party was my son's idea. Well, technically my daughter-in-law's, which immediately made me suspicious. The banquet hall was packed with colleagues and family. My son Daniel kept refilling my glass, while my daughter-in-law Victoria hovered nearby with that plastic smile of hers. "Mom, you look amazing. This retirement is going to be so good for you." Daniel hugged me tight. "Yeah, finally time to relax in that big house of yours. All that space for just one person," Victoria added, her eyes calculating as always. I forced a smile. "I plan to enjoy every square foot of it." My best friend Margot swooped in to save me. "There's my girl, 35 years. Remember when we were just starting and that surgeon set his own coat on fire? How could I forget? You threw coffee on him instead of water." We laughed as Victoria slipped away, clearly annoyed at being excluded from our memories. My brother Frank approached with drinks. "Here's to my big sister, the only person I know who can manage a hospital and still remember everyone's birthday." "Speaking of managing things," Victoria reappeared, "we should talk about your house situation, Blair. All those stairs can't be good for someone your age." Daniel looked uncomfortable. "Honey, not today. I'm just concerned. We have that spare room that's much safer." 35 years of hospital politics taught me to spot vultures. Victoria wanted my 4-bedroom colonial before I was even out the door. "I appreciate the concern, but I'm perfectly capable. The doctor says I'm healthier than most 40-year-olds. I noticed Victoria exchange glances with a server, a blonde woman I recognized as her friend Heather. Wasn't she a pharmacy tech somewhere? Strange that she was working here tonight. Margot whispered, "Your daughter-in-law keeps staring at your drink like it might explode." That's when I noticed it. Victoria approaching with fresh champagne, watching too intently as I set my previous glass down. "Special toast for the retiree?" Her voice was overly cheerful as she handed me a flute with something fizzing at the bottom. Working in a hospital for decades, you develop instincts. You learn which patients are lying about their medications, which doctors are hiding mistakes, which administrators are cooking books. "I'll drink it in a minute," I said, setting it aside carefully. Victoria's smile tightened just slightly. As she turned to chat with Heather by the bar, I saw them looking my way. 15 years of watching drug diversions in my hospital made me recognize suspicious behavior when I saw it. This wasn't just about my house anymore. Victoria was planning something, and whatever was in that champagne wasn't a toast to my health. I excused myself from the conversation and pretended to head toward the restroom, but ducked behind a large flower arrangement instead. From there, I had a clear view of Victoria and Heather in the corner by the service entrance. Heather slipped something from her apron pocket, a small vial with clear liquid. "This stuff works fast. 20 minutes and she'll be completely out of it." Victoria tucked it into her clutch. "Perfect. Daniel will freak when his mom starts acting crazy. He'll finally see she can't live alone anymore." My hands trembled as I made my way back to Margot, who was chatting with some nurses near the cake table. "We need to talk. Right now." I pulled her toward an empty table. "What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." "Worse. I just saw Victoria and her friend Heather exchanging some kind of drug. They're planning to drug me at my own retirement party." Margot's eyes widened. "Are you serious? That's criminal. We should call security." "Not yet. I need proof. They'll just deny it, and Daniel will think I'm being paranoid about his precious wife again." Across the room, Victoria was making her way toward us, carrying yet another glass of champagne. Her smile was so wide it looked painful. "Blair, you haven't touched your drink. Let me get you a fresh one. This one has those little gold flakes. So fancy." "Thanks, Victoria. How thoughtful of you." I took the glass, but didn't drink. "You deserve it. We're family after all." She lingered, watching expectantly. "I'll enjoy it with the toast, saving room for cake first." She nodded too enthusiastically. "Of course. I'll check on that cake for you." As she walked away, my brother Frank slid into the seat beside me. "Something's up with Bride of Chucky over there. She's being way too nice." "You noticed too?" "Hard not to. Last Christmas, she called you a controlling witch when you wouldn't give her your mother's jewelry. Now she's playing waitress? Red Flag City. I sighed. She wants my house. Thinks I'm too old to manage on my own. Well, you did catch that orderly stealing meds when security couldn't. Your instincts are sharp as ever. I spotted Victoria and Heather huddled by the bar again and motioned to Frank. Cover me, I'm going to eavesdrop. I pretended to admire a nearby photo display while straining to hear their conversation. The plan's still on, Victoria whispered. But she won't drink anything I give her. Try the toast. 2 glasses. It's foolproof. 20 minutes later, Victoria approached with 2 identical champagne flutes, beaming. Special toast time, just you and me, mother-in-law to mother-in-law. She handed me 1 glass and raised hers. To your retirement! Just then, Daniel called out to her from across the room. When Victoria turned to wave, I quickly switched our glasses, heart pounding. Sorry about that, she said, turning back. Now let's drink to your future. I smiled and raised the glass to my lips but didn't swallow. Victoria drained hers in one go, watching me intently. Aren't you going to finish yours? It's your special day. Just savoring it. I pretended to take another small sip. Victoria's forehead creased as she checked her watch. You know, maybe we should get some air? You're looking a bit flushed. I'm fine right here. I spotted Dr. Winters, our retired lab director, chatting with colleagues nearby. Hold this for a second? Bathroom break? Before she could object, I handed her my glass and speed-walked toward the ladies' room, making a detour to grab Dr. Winters. Joan, I need a massive favor. Emergency situation. 10 minutes later, we were huddled in the venue's office. Dr. Winters held up a test strip she'd packed in her purse. Old habits die hard. Always keep a toxicology kit handy. And good thing this is positive for benzodiazepines. High concentration, too. Jesus, she was trying to knock me out at my own party. Enough to make you incoherent. Potentially dangerous at your age, especially mixed with the alcohol you've had. I felt sick. I need to find out why. When I returned to the party, Victoria looked jittery. Her right eyelid twitched, and she kept checking her phone. Where's my drink? I asked innocently. Oh, I accidentally spilled it. So clumsy. Let me get you another. No need. I'm switching to water. Her face fell. Are you feeling okay? You seem confused. That's when it clicked. She wanted me to appear disoriented. I excused myself and found Margot by the dessert table. I need to see Victoria's phone. She keeps checking it. Leave it to me. I've got 20 years of distraction techniques from the pediatric ward. While Margot accidentally spilled punch on Victoria's dress and helped her clean up in the bathroom, I slipped to the coat room and found her purse. The phone was unlocked. Careless. The text messages made my blood run cold. Victoria to Daniel. Lawyer says we need documented incidents of mental confusion to petition for guardianship. Once we control her finances, we can make her sell the house. Daniel to Victoria. I don't know about this. Maybe we should just ask for a loan instead. Victoria to Daniel. She'll never give us the money willingly. Trust me, this is better. She'll be taken care of in the facility. Victoria to Heather. Bring the strongest dose. Need to make sure she's completely out of it when the lawyer sees her. I took photos of everything with my own phone, hands shaking with rage. As I replaced her phone, Victoria entered the coat room. What are you doing with my purse? I stood up straight, no longer pretending. Finding out exactly what kind of person my son married? I don't know what you're talking about. Benzodiazepines in my champagne, petitioning for guardianship, selling my house, planning to put me in a facility. Did I miss anything? Her face drained of color. You're confused. This is exactly why we're concerned. Save it. I've worked with better liars than you for decades. The glass you drank from? That was the one you drugged. You switched the... She stopped, realizing her mistake. Yes, I did. And now I have your confession. Victoria grabbed for my phone, but I held it out of reach. Her legs wobbled slightly, the sedative starting to take effect. I think it's time we had a family meeting. Daniel? I called across the room. My son hurried over, concern etched on his face. Mom, what's going on? Your wife drugged my champagne, but unfortunately for her, I switched our glasses. Victoria clutched the doorframe, her speech slurring. She's lying. I wouldn't. I showed Daniel the phone messages. His face crumpled as he scrolled through them. A facility? Guardianship? Selling her house? He looked at Victoria with horror. What the hell is wrong with you? Don't act innocent, I snapped. Your name is all over these messages. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. Mom, I swear I didn't know about drugging you. Victoria said we should talk to a lawyer about helping you manage your finances since you're getting older. I thought it was about power of attorney someday. Not this. You said you wanted the money for your business, Victoria mumbled, sliding down the wall. Frank and Margot appeared in the doorway, having heard the commotion. What's happening? Frank asked. Call security and the police, I said firmly. And get Dr. Winters. Someone's been drugged. Within an hour, the party had transformed into a crime scene. The venue manager had called 911, and Victoria was being evaluated by paramedics while a police officer took my statement. We've confiscated the glass for testing, the officer explained. If it contains what you say it does, she'll be facing serious charges. Attempted assault, conspiracy, possibly elder abuse. Daniel hadn't left my side since reading the messages. Mom, I'm so sorry. I swear I never agreed to drugging you. I just wanted help with my business loan. You were still planning to take control of my finances. I know. I got greedy and stupid. I'll never forgive myself. 2 weeks later, Victoria was formally charged. The story spread through the hospital grapevine like wildfire. By month's end, no medical facility in the county would touch her resume. I'd made sure of it with a few strategic calls. Heather had been fired from her pharmacy job and was facing charges of her own. Daniel filed for divorce and moved into an apartment downtown. He started coming by for weekly dinners, slowly rebuilding trust. The divorce papers were finalized today, he told me over coffee 6 months later. Victoria's completely broke from legal fees. She's moving back to Ohio with her parents. How unfortunate, I said, not feeling an ounce of sympathy. My retirement turned out better than I could have imagined. I renovated my beautiful house, adding a sunroom where I drink my morning coffee. Margot and I started a travel club with other retired hospital staff. Frank visits every Sunday for dinner. Yesterday, I received a letter from Victoria, some rambling apology about being under financial stress and making a terrible mistake. I didn't bother reading past the first paragraph before feeding it into my new paper shredder. Some things don't deserve forgiveness, and trying to drug your mother-in-law definitely tops that list. What would you do if you discovered a family member was secretly plotting against you? Would you expose them completely like Blair did, or would you have handled it differently? And was Blair right to shred Victoria's apology letter? Or should forgiveness be considered even after such a serious betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling stories just like this one. New videos posted daily.